Hi, my name is Rick. I'm a compulsive overeater. And by the grace of God and the 12-step fellowship of Overeaters Anonymous and being a member of Overeaters Anonymous, turning to God for help, working the 12 steps, and staying away from my alcoholic foods, I haven't found it necessary to have an eating binge for 1,610 days, one day at a time. For that, I'm very, very grateful. We read in the doctor's opinion. We believe, and so suggested a few years ago, that the action of alcohol on these chronic alcoholics is a manifestation of an allergy, that the phenomenon of craving is limited to this class and never occurs in the average temperate drinker. These alcoholic types can never safely use alcohol in any form at all, and once having formed the habit and found they cannot break it, they have lost their self-confidence, their reliance upon things human. Their problems pile up on them and become astonishingly difficult to solve. The key phrase in there is that the phenomenon of craving is limited to this class and never occurs in the average temperate drinker. My thoughts about food don't occur to normal people. I have an obsession of the mind that tells me it's okay to eat certain foods, and then when I eat those foods, I trigger an abnormal physical reaction to those foods, and I cannot stop eating. So the only solution for me is never, under any circumstances, to touch those foods. And we read the passage on acceptance, which I read every morning. It helped me a great deal to become convinced that alcoholism was a disease and not a moral issue, that I had been drinking as a result of a compulsion, even though I had not been aware of the compulsion at the time, and that sobriety was not a matter of willpower. The people of AA had something that looked much better than what I had, but I was afraid to let go of what I had in order to try something new. There was a certain sense of security in the familiar. At last, acceptance proved to be the key to my drinking problem. After I'd been around AA for 7 months, tapering off alcohol and pills, not finding the program working very well, I was finally able to say, "Okay, God, it is true that I, of all people, and strange as it may seem, even though I didn't give my permission, really am an alcoholic of sorts. And it's all right with me. Now what am I going to do about it?" When I stopped living in the problem and began living in the answer, the problem went away. From that moment on, I have not had a single compulsion to drink. And acceptance is the answer to all my problems today. When I am disturbed, it is because I find some person, place, thing, or situation, some fact of my life unacceptable to me. And I can find no serenity until I accept that person, place, thing, or situation as being exactly the way it is supposed to be at this moment. Nothing, absolutely nothing happens in God's world by mistake. Until I could accept my alcoholism, I could not stay sober. Unless I accept life completely on life's terms, I cannot be happy. I need to concentrate not so much on what needs to be changed in the world as on what needs to be changed in me and in my attitudes. And then one day, in an AA meeting, I was told I had the lenses in my glasses backward. The courage to change in the Serenity Prayer meant not that I should change my marriage, but rather that I should change myself and learn to accept my spouse as she was. AA has given me a new pair of glasses. I can again focus on my wife's good qualities and watch them grow and grow and grow. I can do the same thing with an AA meeting. The more I focus my mind on its defects, the late start, the long drunkalogs, the cigarette smoke, the worse the meeting becomes. But when I try to see what I can add to the meeting, rather than what I can get out of it, And when I focus my mind on what's good about it rather than what's wrong with it, the meeting keeps getting better and better and better. When I focus on what's good today, I have a good day. When I focus on what's bad, I have a bad day. If I focus on a problem, the problem increases. If I focus on the answer increases. Acceptance is the key to my relationship with God today. I never just sit and do nothing while waiting for Him to tell me what to do. Rather, I do whatever is in front of me to be done, and I leave the results up to Him. However it turns out, that's God's will for me. I must keep my magic magnifying mind on my acceptance and off my expectations. For my serenity is directly proportional to my level of acceptance. When I remember this, I can see I've never had it so good. Thank God for AA. Of course, in my case, thank God for Overeaters Anonymous. May God bless you in your program. May you find peace in this world. Amen.